So when
Mm-hmm.
an executive is evaluating, the idea is most of them are not really looking for reasons to make it. Most of them are looking for reasons not to make it. For
Exactly.
one simple reason, it's a good
Mm-hmm.
approach. If you give me reason not
Mm-hmm.
to make it, then it's not worth taking forward.
You recently worked for Z5. What was the expectation as head of movies? What were you looking for? Is there a programming brief that this year we are looking to commission this kind of stuff? The next year we would focus on something else. Is there a programming vision when you commission these series or films?
No, absolutely. So as I said, what happens is periodically, whether it's every year or twice, depending on the need, the firm
Mhm.
devises its programming strategy, depending on past successes, past failures, what are the business targets, what does data reveal, what are the they already have, what are the audiences they want to reach out, business expectations, the market reality, and what competitors are doing. Now you devise a programming strategy, which also includes number of projects that you would want to do, which would break it down into the brackets, the scale of each project that you would want to do. You further break it down into genre mix that you would want. You might decide I want three thrillers, two XYZ, whatever that breakup. But first, you lay out a blueprint, selecting a corner. Could be a bit more, but you set out an exact agenda and a strategy. So you create
Mhm.
a sheet in which there are blanks. There are slots to be filled. Depending on that, you start evaluating the pitches that you get, and you see where given pitch, if it meets the creative requirement, obviously to begin with, where it fits in. So a lot of times, a good piece of content or proposal or might be not taken forward because it don't fit into the scheme of things right now. And a lot of times, something which might not be so convincing at that point in time in terms of its creative merit is still picked up, and a network puts in a lot of time and to create it to a level make it because it fits the programming solution.
When a producer wants to approach the channel or a platform for commissioning, you know, what is it that the channel's expectation from the producer? What kind of material the channel expects from, and what kind of research and what kind of presentation the channel expects from the producer or the production company?
See, I mean, proposals. You get proposals from production proposals creators also. So you have
Mhm.
writers and all who are coming in, and you have directors who come in with proposals. So obviously, the criterias for each would be a little bit different apart from the.
Mhm.
Uh, when it comes to, but if you are talking part of it, it's a standard production pitch that you have to make. Proposal pitch that you have to, which needs to have a log line, which needs to have a concept note, which needs to have a broad story arc, characters, whatever those quantity, those number. That fact list is there, to make the network actually see what is it that you are presenting. What happens is
Mhm.
that a network would, a platform would pick up, a project, bases, maybe a log line, maybe a concept, maybe not that detailed. They might make changes to what you have submitted, but they would like to know what exactly is your vision, for sure.
Mhm.
What happens, a lot of people just think of an idea, you know and come and pitch, and that idea is very interesting on an idea level, and when
Mhm.
you ask for further details, they don't have details, or if you give them time to create details, then it never works out, or time frame goes for a toss. So the expectation is to come to us with a proper proposal pitch, where everything is convincing, and I can see
Sorry.
what you have in mind. I can see the narrative that you have in mind. I can see the cast that you would like to have. I can see the mood that the your film would have, kind of costing that you would expect. Everything uh, thought out. It might even in terms of details, that budget does not have a line-wise budget, or that will be the entire screenplay. But you should be able to answer each and every query on the entirety of that particular piece of it's a series or a film. So that's the level of preparedness that you need to have, before you approach a platform.
Therefore, it would be better for the producers to do their homeworks very well in order to have the budgets, the ATLs and BTLs clearly defined, the number of shooting days, the kind of post production, the kind of equipment that would be required. Everything has to be detailed, at least for their own use, so that they are able to answer the queries and the questions that the channel or the platform may have. Is it right?
Right. Right, but that happens more for a film and less for a series. Because series creative is still a bit more open, for collaboration and development. So out there in a series proposal, you don't require so much of detailing, but with a film doing that, obviously helps. See, what happens is that bombarded with pills every day, right? So in a year, you might want to make X number of films or X number of series, and what you get in terms of proposals is 100 times. So when an executive is evaluating, the idea is most of them are not really looking for reasons to make it. Most of them are looking for reasons not to make it, for
Exactly.
one simple reason. It's a good approach. If you give me reason not to make it, then it's not worth taking forward. But if you give, I cannot deny it, then that means that film, that project has lot more clarity. So it's in a positive that you are you are looking at projects with cynicism. It's not it's not being people. It's just a way of filtering out, that you give me something which I cannot. That means it has that kind of merit. So what happens is that an executing, and half the pitches, or most of the pitches come half are half baked, are not that interesting. So there is a kind of a cynicism on that level also comes. So if I start listening to a pitch, hook me at the very first, more and more and more. And if you're able more and more, then we would reach a point of meeting and taking a decision. But today you tickle me with a concept, you tickle me with certain details, and I show interest. Then you take your sweet time to come back and prepare. By the time you come, I might have lost interest, or you might not have been able to do it enough, or a competitor might have picked it up, or I might already doing something on similar lines, because I in that project, because it was filling a need gap that I had. You took months to revert to me, or whatever time. In the meanwhile, someone came prepared with a pitch which served the same purpose that I wanted.